of course, is my boy, Pat Reagan. Sweet melodic voice of my boy. Hope you guys are having a good day today. Welcome back to Jeremiah Wonders. I couldn't be more infatuated with this episode. A lot of loved one in this episode. Man, it's going to be a fun one. Can't wait for you guys to listen to this. Had a good week. I went to my first WWE SmackDown event. Oh my goodness. I've never been to a live wrestling event before. Sal Vulcano, Adam Ray, and Steve Simone. I went with those dudes. And I had so much freaking fun. I really didn't think I was going to have that much fun. But it was such a good time. And I grew up with a lot of friends who were huge fans of wrestling. I owned the different Nintendo 64 games growing up, but I enjoyed playing it, but I never really watched it a ton. But I got all amped up. I was watching highlight videos and stuff before I went. Classic Hogan footage. There's this one footage of Hulk Hogan coming into the ring, entering at his peak, and it cuts to Adam Sandler. We're talking 90s Adam Sandler in his prime. And he's just smiling ear to ear, just looking around, being like, this is so cool. It was just a magical moment. You should look for that on YouTube. Very cool. I was also at the Sacramento Punchline this weekend with my buddy Tony Hinchcliffe. Yes, we had a great time. Thank you guys so much for coming out. All the Kill Tony fans, the Jeremiah Wonders fans, the supporters of the show. Really appreciate that, guys. And I appreciate you guys helping me out and picking up merch and that kind of stuff. Because as a feature, you can't really make a living doing stand-up as a feature on the road. So it helps a lot whenever, you support and donate to the cause. As passing out inflatable saxophone whistles, Reagan and Watkins stickers, my bootleg comedy album. Man, it was fun. Really good shows. Great Death Squad support system out there. And it was just super fun. It's always fun to be on the road with friends. And Tony and I have been on the road together a lot. And it was cool. Something really else that was amazing that happened this week, guys. HBO debut for me and some of my best friends. The Roast Battle crew was on HBO's Crashing, and it was so cool. We had a little bit of a viewing party over my place. The Wave was over here, and Tony made it over. And we had a blast just watching the show, cracking up, just hitting each other, elbowing each other, being like, I cannot believe that this is happening. Me and my friends were on HBO. It was so cool. It was just a cool, fun, pure moment. You got to appreciate those moments in Los Angeles because you don't know the next time something special like that is going to happen. So I really appreciate anytime moments like that happen. Speedweed, of course, sponsor of this show. Gino, the man, hitting you up with those delivery around Los Angeles. Hit up at Speedweed on Twitter. Check out their website, Get a little ganja, some kush, some green. And also Joe's Pizza. Oh my goodness. Check out their Instagram at Joe's Pizza LA. Hit them up. Tell them Jeremiah Wonders sent you. And go to the West Hollywood location on Sunset Boulevard, right down the street from the Comedy Store. Grab a slice and say that Jeremiah Watkins sent you. Heck yeah. It's in my top 5 pizza places. That's hard to do, man. But yeah, I love Joe. I've been sitting down with him, having some great conversations with him while the pizzas cook. While they're being prepared. And he's a cool dude. He's got some cool stories, man. That guy's awesome. I got a few dates to plug before we get into this episode. Man, Pat and I had a blast. There's some really cool call-ins. I won't give too much away, but got a few dates coming up. Thursday, March 8th, I'll be co-headlining with Brian Redband at the La Jolla Comedy Store. So San Diego, come on out to that Thursday, March 8th. This Thursday, March 8th, with Redband at the La Jolla Comedy Store. Get tickets to that. Stand Up on the Spot is Tuesday, March 13th. Tuesday, March 13th. So get tickets to that. And I'm going to tell you a few names that are already on the lineup. Brendan Schaub, Rory Scovel, Johnny Pemberton, and myself, Jeremiah Watkins, so far. So Go get tickets to that, the Comedy Store's website, ASAP. That's going to sell out very quickly. And the best way to contact me is at your boy Jeremiah Watkins at gmail.com. YOUR boy Jeremiah Watkins at gmail.com. I'll see DMs every once in a while. I'm not the best at checking those, so it's best to email me if you want to hit me up about booking or just to say what's up. And I'm pretty good about responding through email, so hit me up through that, guys. And also, we're going to be in Arizona, in Phoenix, I believe, for Kill Tony. April 5th through 7th at the full band. We're doing a weekend of shows, and we're going to do one Kill Tony over that weekend. Check out Tony's tour website for the info on that. And I will be in Austin, Texas, 420 weekend, baby, April 20th weekend with the Goddamn Comedy Jam with stand-up on the spot, and I will be doing my own stand-up spots, my own personal stand-up around the festival as well. That's going to be amazing. Also, if you want to sponsor the show, hit up your boy Jeremiah Watkins at gmail.com. We got some fun new sponsors coming to the show very soon. I appreciate the support. Another good way to support the show, if you're digging the show, go get a t-shirt at jeremiahwatkins.tv/shop. All that stuff helps tremendously, guys. I wanted to do something that was kind of cool. Pat Reagan is, first off, he's one of my best friends. I absolutely love this guy. And if you don't know who he is, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. You need to look this guy up. You got to check out his music, his comedy. He's got 3 albums out right now. Pat Reagan Smells Like Shit, Pat Reagan and the Baby Boys, and Bad Chad. And then he's going to have a 4th album here, hopefully within the year, that hopefully will come out this summer. We're working on the Reagan and Watkins album right now. We've been rehearsing a lot. We're supposed to record in April. We talk about that. But I'm very, very excited for that album and very excited for you guys to hear those songs come together. Thank you for all the nice reviews on iTunes and everything, guys. The 5-star reviews, the comments, all that stuff helps. So if you haven't done that yet, get your butt over to iTunes and do that. And tell people about the show. If you're digging it, tell a friend about the show. Turn them on to it. I appreciate it. But I hope your week is filled with positivity. And I'm going to challenge you this week. Do something nice for a stranger, you know? Why not? Just, I guarantee you, it'll make you feel good. There's this guy, every once in a while, like, you feel the need, like, to give to somebody that's homeless or that's struggling around you, and you do it every once in a while. It feels really good. It feels good to just help out a stranger every once in a while. That's my challenge for you guys this week. Just help a stranger out. Who knows? It's good karma all around. It could help you out. Anyway. I don't know. I'm just all about positivity and good vibes, man. I'm just about those good vibes. Anyway, I wanted to do something special I haven't done on any other episode of Jeremiah Wonders. I wanted to ask Tony Hinchcliffe what he thought about Pat Reagan and how he met him and got first introduced to him.
It goes 1, 2, 3. Then we jump in the water. It's just
when I first met Pat Reagan, the main thing that I noticed was that he was doing new stuff every time I saw him, whether it was like a new song or new jokes or whatever. And I went up to him and I told him something that I've never told a musical comedian before, and that is that I liked what he was doing. And I loved that he was taking risks on stage. And he gave me a copy of his album. And I put it in my car CD player, which is, again, something that I don't do when other people give me stuff. And I listened to it over and over and over again, realizing that this guy was a damn genius. And every song has callbacks and is funny and is well written, and it actually sounded as good of a song. Like, I would have liked the song if it wasn't funny as it sounded. And I liked it because it was funny, which I never think musical comedy is funny, and I never think the music sounds good because I'm such a snobby fan of both music and comedy that I especially don't like two at once. But the album blew my mind. I raved about it to everybody, including him. I was just obsessed. I still to this day think it's brilliant. And but the thing that I love about Pat is, you know, his live performing and taking chances and doing new stuff all the time, and people like that, one thing that I've learned in years of doing comedy that took me years to learn is that the people that take the most chances and have common sense are always going to get funnier than everybody else. The people that do good now, whatever. You never know what's going to happen with them. Maybe that's the best stuff they'll ever have. But if you take chances and you take risks, and it's just more fun and it's more rewarding in the end. So he's the epitome of that, because he's doing new stuff and taking chances and writing new songs and memorizing new songs and going at it, and also performing live. He performs for each individual crowd and show stuff differently, and maybe he goes off track and brings it way off track, or brings it on track and makes it crazy, and you never know what's going to happen. And so you never sort of want to turn it off or leave the room, because he might make things hectic and he might make things great, but something's going to happen, because he just won't be like chill and mellow. It's going to be interesting. So that's what I like about Pat Reagan. That's what I learned very early on. And that's why, you know, I invited him to be a huge part of Kill Tony. Was, you know, there wasn't a thing where we had a musician doing music over on the side. It was an old robotic security guard before, and he got completely replaced by Pat Reagan. I told him the whole time that I trust him, that he can do whatever he wants with that band, and look what he did. With just that, he was able to grow it out to turn it into a massive, massive comedy body with Jeremiah Watkins and Joel Jimenez and Chroma Chris, and it's just so funny, and it sounds so good, and the stuff that happens over there, he is very much responsible for, because he's the one that did it. I told him to do whatever he wants, and every Monday when he's performing, when the crowd's being loaded into now the main room of Kill Tony, I feel great. It feels like home. And he's a big part of the show, and I love him, and he's one of my favorite people that I've met since I've started comedy. Patty Reagan.
I'm gonna write a dozen songs tonight.
You heard it here, folks. Pat Reagan is Golden Pony approved, and he is Golden Goose approved as well. Yeah, that's me, dog. The Golden Goose, baby. Anywho, thanks so much for listening to this, guys. I hope this finds you at your job well, whatever you're doing. I hope it makes your drive, your mundane drive, a little bit better. Hope it gives you some chuckles, puts a smile on your face. That's what it's all about, you know? That's why I love doing comedy for, and I love doing this podcast, bring people some joy, some happiness. So I hope it is working. And thank you for reaching out to me and telling me that it is working for those of you. And it's always nice to hear. So I love working on this podcast. It's been a lot of added hours to my week of work, but it's totally worth it, and I'm going to keep doing this thing, and we're going to keep making this thing bigger and better, and let's blow this sucker up. Without further ado, it's my boy Patty Reagan on Jeremiah Wonders.
Cancer in remission. So I'll beg you not to hold me to my word.
Pat, how did you and I meet?
We met at I used to go to you at a porch mic, Jeremiah's porch mic.
Yeah, man.
On Cahuenga.
On Cahuenga.
Cahuenga.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It was outside.
It was outside. I would put up like I put all over my Facebook. This is when I first moved here. My address, just everything. Like so anybody could show up. It was kind of stupid looking back at it, but I was like, no, this is fine. I don't have anything to lose.
Do the neighbors ever get upset?
Well, that's what ended up shutting that porch mic down. So it was in the front lawn of I lived on the front half of a duplex with this awesome porch, and the mic happened in that area, and we had just like a small amp and a mic stand, and a ton of people would come by and sign up, like a lot, like where there was just this cool hangout going on in the front lawn and front porch.
Roseanne Barr, David Allen Greer.
Dude, all the greats. Letterman would go up. Dude, Pryor even once dropped in. It was cool, man.
He wheeled himself up.
Oh no.
Yeah, man. I can't imagine the neighbors didn't love open mic comedy.
Yeah, well, we had Armenians on one side and we had crackheads on the other. So they both didn't want to call the police.
Armenians to the left of me, crackheads to the right. Here I am at Jeremiah's porch mic.
Oh, man. That's why people have been wanting this episode. Did you just hear what happened? Pat and I just locked eyes, Reagan and Watkins style, and went into that riff.
My name is Pat Reagan.
I'm Jeremiah Watkins.
And together we are Reagan and Watkins. Thank you. That was the first song we ever wrote.
People keep asking when our album is coming out.
Yeah. We're going to record in April.
Yeah. We're super pumped.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to record up in Ventura. We've got some buds who that we know who are going to help us produce it. That they're producers. They've been in a bunch of bands, and we'll give you more details on that.
Got a full band. Got Joel Berg on the drums.
Yeah.
Chroma Chris on bass.
Yeah. And then Joel Rakowski, the other white Joel, on lead guitar.
Mm-hmm. Two
So,
Joels.
Two Joels don't make a right. But in this case, they do. Yeah, it's super exciting.
Do you remember when we first met, though? I don't remember.
Well, I remember whenever you came to the porch mic, did you have your guitar yet?
Mm-mm.
I didn't think so. So Pat, whenever I first met him, you were doing kind of like bizarre one-liners, right?
Yeah, well, my first bits were like, my first jokes were like, what if you pant somebody and they were just wearing diapers? Fellas, you ever jack off just because you see a napkin laying around?
Another classic.
Then I had like a 4-minute bit. One of my early bits was about having 28 kids with Nicki Minaj, and then like what their names would be. I like named them all.
What were some of the names?
J.J. Abrams, Double Dribble, Catheter. That's a girl. Just, yeah, I had these like long, weird.
I think we're getting a phone call right now. Hello? Who is this?
Hey, it's Catheter.
Oh my God! Hey, I'm sorry I didn't call you back.
Yeah, you my daddy.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry I didn't call you back.
Nicki Minaj can't raise just me. I need a daddy.
Wait, so you're Nicki Minaj? You're Nicki Minaj's and
Daughter,
mine,
yeah.
and I'm your dad.
Yeah, you my dad.
Well, I didn't know I gave birth to such an annoying daughter.
Well, you named me Catheter. What do you expect, daddy?
I don't know. It's also weird how you call me daddy with such a psychosexual undertones.
Sorry, we've never met before, but I want to call you daddy.
Okay, now it's getting even more sexual.
I don't know what you're talking about, daddy.
Okay, man, Catheter. So you want to go to the park later and get some ducks?
Get some ducks?
Go on a duck boat.
What you talking about, daddy?
You ever been to Boston, the Boston Common, or like in Boston, the Swan Lake, swan
No, because
boats?
I've never seen where my daddy lives.
Yeah, well, we can remedy that. Daddy lives in a 6-bedroom.
Oh, you started referring to yourself as daddy. I like that. Where did daddy live? In a 6-bedroom where?
In a 6-bedroom apartment in Koreatown. It's on the 10th floor. And
You live in a 6-bedroom on the 10th floor of an apartment complex in Koreatown? Man, you must be rolling big, daddy. I like that.
Yeah, it seems, Catheter, it seems like you're getting even, can I say more urban as we keep speaking?
I'm mixed, so sometimes it ebbs and flows.
Yeah. I love your mother, by the way.
Oh, who don't?
She's pretty hot.
Yeah, I like her, but sometimes I just feel like she doesn't like me. I feel like sometimes she all about that bass.
No treble.
No treble.
Yeah, well, Catheter, how do you get along with your brothers and sisters? You got 27 of them.
Yeah, we don't talk sometimes.
Do you talk to any of them? You talk to J.J. Abrams?
Sometimes I talk to J.J. Abrams. Sometimes I talk to Fallopian Tube. Sometimes I talk to Ratchet Number 6.
Well, can you tell them that Daddy loves them?
I'm not gonna be your pigeon messenger, bird messenger,
Come on,
horse
come on,
messenger,
just
girl
tell-
messenger,
come
man
on.
messenger.
Come on.
No, Daddy, what?
Catheter.
What?
Do one thing for me. Daddy's done so much.
Daddy ain't done snarp.
Daddy's done
Daddy ain't
dozens
done
of
snarp.
things.
Daddy ain't done snarp for catheter.
Aw, Daddy fucking made fucking applesauce.
I don't remember that. Did you spit it into my mouth when I was a baby and I was unaware of it?
No, I wouldn't spit it in your mouth. I'd feed it with a spoon, probably. But I don't remember either. I was pretty jacked up. I was fucking your mom so much that my memory just kind of went out the window.
So you only remember having sex with mommy?
Wow.
That's it?
Yeah. Yep.
Man, you whack.
Are we just? She just dropped the call. I don't know if she hung up or what happened, but I can't believe you would name your daughter Catheter.
Yeah. Well, it was a fictional bit, so it was supposed to be funny.
I just expected more out of you. Also, do you have Catheter's number? Just real curious.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want it?
Yeah, can I start dating Catheter?
It's 789
Okay.
412 B
Uh-huh.
B as in boy 698 and then T as in train.
Okay, great.
I like that she exits phone calls by saying "you whack"
Yeah.
or "that's whack"
Yeah. She must have learned that from her mom. I don't know.
instead of "bye." Yeah, Nicki Minaj would always say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever you're having sex with her.
What are we talking about?
What are we not talking about? We're talking about everything. Doesn't matter. There's no confines to this podcast. The walls are closing in. Who knows what's gonna happen today? Yeah, man.
That's how I feel in my head.
Does it? Mm-hmm. That's nice. And now a moment inside Pat Reagan's mind.
What are you thinking with my boy, Patty Reagan?
Oh my God! Ah, fuck! It hurts! Ah, shit!
This has been What Are You Thinking with my boy, Patty Reagan.
Wow, you got some demons in there, Pat. that was a little intense. I don't know. Yeah, the first time, whenever I started seeing you around the scene, I thought you were funny and like out there, which I've always liked comedy that's not conventional. But it was one of those things where as soon as you started working with your guitar, it just took you to this like other level because, you know, guitar comics sometimes get that label of like a hacky, like that 90s like vibe. Like, come on, everybody, let's sing along. Let's do this. Blah, blah, blah. And you like wrote like funny, dark songs.
Well, I was already a songwriter, so it was like just taking that. It was like it kind of made sense, you know, because I was already playing music.
How long
growing up?
were you? When did you start playing music?
When I started writing songs, probably when I was like 12, and then I got my guitar when I was like 15. But I was writing songs. I was in bands and stuff, like at 12, 13, 14.
What were some of the names of the bands that you were in?
Make a Getaway.
Make a Getaway.
That was the band. That was
the one that was supposed to hit?
That was the high school band. Yeah.
Okay.
Make a Getaway. We covered Blister in the Sun by the Violent Femmes. When I'm walking, I strut my stuff and I'm down.
I'm high as a
kite, I just might stop and check you out.
Let me go on.
Like a blister in the sun, let me go on. Big hands, I know you're the one. Good thing his voice isn't annoying.
Yeah. I love that song.
I do too.
It's a great one. So you do covers, and would you guys do originals?
Oh yeah, it was all originals. Except we do a couple of we cover the replacements.
Do you have any of that stuff online or anything like that?
Mm-mm.
Do you remember any of the lyrics?
Yeah. I had an Irish song called Danny Cruise. That was my first like big song.
Can we hear a little bit of that?
It's like Irish. Yeah, it's like, well, here's to you, Danny Cruise. You let the chips fall where they may. Well, some you'll win and some you'll lose, and sometimes you will pay. Just when you think you've got the Midas touch, the tables they will turn. Fate will decide so much, and a lesson you will learn. Hey.
Oh, that was great.
It's mandolin.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And how old were you when you wrote that? You said around 12?
I was probably 13, 14.
Wow. So much angst in those teenage
Oh
bones
my
of
God,
Pat
dude.
Reagan.
I remember one time I would write these songs. They were just lyrics, like, so it was kind of like, it was poetry, but I always thought of them as songs. And so I one time I was trying to share them with my friends in my garage. I was trying to share them with my friend Bobby and probably Bobby, and I was hanging out with somebody else, and I was like reading them out of my notebook. And I had a drum set in my garage. That was my first instrument. And Bobby was sitting at the drums, and he would do what Joel does on Kill Tony. He would just start rim shotting. As I was reading this serious poetry, it was literally like, I'm filled with rage, I'm in a cage, like, and I think I started crying. I definitely walked away. I definitely like walked out of the garage in anger.
Wow.
Like,
because your friend was playing a little prank?
Yeah. That was cool. That was fun. We had a big hill across the street, and we'd go basically go sledding, like non-snow sledding.
Yeah.
Kind of jackass style down the street.
And was this in Indiana or Boston?
This was in the Bay Area.
Oh, the Bay Area. That's right. Because you were born in Indiana, then moved to the Bay Area?
Mm-hmm. Went to middle school and high school in the Bay.
Okay. And then you came down here to go to college, right?
Go to film school, yeah.
Film school.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I want to go into this next segment right now. A new fan favorite, Pizza Party. Pizza time for a pizza party. Here, grab your slice. We're gonna not chew into the mic.
Careful not to make
chewing noise in the mic. I got a few complaints last time.
Okay, so.
But this is very good.
That's good pizza.
That's solid. Chicago or New York? What's your jam?
I like Chicago, Midwest. No, I actually like New York pizza. It's the big floppy style.
Yeah, dude. Big floppies.
Yeah, I like anything floppy.
Do you have a favorite pizza place in
Yeah.
Indiana or Boston or Los Angeles?
California.
Yeah?
Well, Joe's, of course. Joe's is my number one. Then if I were to have to pick a second one, it would be Crispy Crust in Atwater Village.
Dude, so Pat and I eat Crispy Crust a lot whenever I go over there. Like, if I haven't eaten food, Pat's like, have you eaten lunch yet? And we're like rehearsing. I'm like, no, I haven't. And he's like, do you want some pizza? And you reheat from Crispy Crust, and it's great. It's good.
I've always got some Crispy Crust in the fridge.
What you're doing right now. Hilarious. So good. When was the last time you had a pizza party, Pat?
I mean, I guess probably when I was a child, probably for a birthday. But I don't know.
Does it feel good to have one as an adult right now?
Yeah. I was just gonna say, man, I long for the days of pizza parties.
Have you ever had a bad pizza experience?
Oh, sure. I can tell you one.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I got this place, Cruiser, Cruzer. It's a vegan pizza place in Los Feliz.
Already a cardinal rule that you're breaking right there.
I got it delivered, $25, and it looked like Play-Doh. I opened it up, looked like Play-Doh, and it wasn't pizza. So I guess no, I don't have a pizza experience because what they gave me was not pizza.
Spoken like a true pizza effing connoisseur. Pizza, this has been the pizza party.
Did you ever see me do acapella songs?
Yeah, you used to do a lot of acapella songs.
That's funny.
Do you want to do one right now?
Okay, yeah, sure. I had a Lord of the Rings one that I would say, oh man, I saw that movie, Lord of the Rings, and man, I loved it. I couldn't get enough of it, and so I wrote this song about it.
I want to climb the misty mountains with Frodo and Gimli. We'll fight the evil Sauron with all of our strength. It will be a long journey, and Gandalf will not come with us, but we will prevail for the ringing a volcano. Dum 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 dum.
Then I would march around the stage and with slamming the mic stand down, and I broke a couple mic stands at a couple different places. I definitely broke a mic stand at Flappers. I broke a mic stand at the Hollywood Hotel.
And what kind of audience reaction would you get?
Pretty positive, man. Back in those days, I was fearless and funny, and then I stayed in the LA scene too long and got in my head. And I came around the Comedy Store, and people were like, "Arr!" And then I was like, oh shit, I guess I'm not funny. And then so I started feeling it. So, but yeah, it used to go pretty well, man.
Do you feel like you can get back to that place?
I would take over a room, you know.
Do you feel like you can get back to that place?
I don't want to anymore.
Oh. Okay. You have different agenda now.
Now I'm just trying to chill. Yeah, work on my own stuff.
Right.
Kind of put blinders on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do your thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I wanna talk to film school Pat.
Oh yes, hello, film school.
Oh,
Pat here.
we just got we just received a call. He just patched right in. Film school Pat. Hey buddy.
Hey, before we begin, what's your favorite Louis Buñuel film?
The Birds?
Ooh, that's just Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh, that's right,
so
that's right.
Guess I'm gonna have to give that an F minus.
Oh, I didn't even know I could get an F minus. That seems like a little bit excessive.
I was gonna give you an F plus, but plus is too close to positive, and film school Pat's all about negativity.
Really? The dark depths of film school Pat. Now, film school Pat, did you get laid whenever you were in film school?
I'll be right back. I have to go hide in my girlfriend's room for 6 days.
Okay. Well, you have a girlfriend. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, and her roommates are right outside the door, and I'm not gonna come out ever, even if I have to go to the bathroom.
Wait.
Film school Pat.
Oh, did we lose him? I love,
Yep.
Dude, I love talking to film school Pat. Do you think we can get him on?
Oh, hey, film
Hey,
school
he's
Pat
back. Hey.
Here. What's crack lacking?
Hey, so you just came back from staying in the room for 6 days. How are you feeling now?
Oh, I feel terrible. I was listening to a lot of French music from the 1930s.
Did you
and
say
40s.
French music?
French music.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
sorry. You have a really, really bad speech impediment. It's really difficult to hear you.
French music like La Vie en Rose and Confidence, la mer, confidence.
Whoa. How come film school Pat, I've noticed that when you start singing, you have a beautiful voice, but it is wretched whenever you start talking.
I know, it's my curse and my cross to bear.
I can't even curse and cross to bear?
Yeah, I'll be right back. I gotta go. I gotta go jerk my jerk off.
You gotta go jerk your jerk off?
Yeah.
Hashtag jerk your jerk off?
Yeah.
Did you just say hashtag jerk your jerk off?
I gotta go take an Armenian music class.
Wait.
I'll be right back. You know, I took an Armenian music class. Our final was to grow 2 inches of back hair.
Film school Pat, why don't we hang out more? I love you.
Yeah, I know. Back then, oh man, film school Pat, I got a girlfriend. I'm just like.
What was your
walking
girlfriend's
around.
name, film school Pat?
Evan.
Evan? Was it a girl?
It was a girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just
her
had to
name-
ask because it's a kind of an androgynous name.
Her name was Pat. My name was Pat. Her name was Evan. So we both had kind of androgynous names.
Oh
Pat and
yeah,
Evan.
Pat and Evan.
I'd wear the tits. She'd wear the
The
strap on.
She not only wore the pants in a relationship, she wore the dick.
Yeah, and her dad was in the CIA.
What?
Yeah.
Are you film school Pat? Should you be telling me this?
I actually am not supposed to say that.
Really? So let's talk about that. Did he go on any missions that she told you about or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, I mean, shit, man. I mean, he would be off in like Afghanistan and Iraq, literally like training like how to drive like full grade military vehicles, like doing like black ops fucking training.
What?
Yeah, and he wore all black. I wish I could tell you his name because it's unbelievable. He had like a name like a character from a movie.
Wow.
He had a name of like a character from the Old West.
Okay.
Literally.
If it's Rambo, just blink twice.
Yeah, Old West Rambo. Yeehaw! as Arnold.
Wow, film school Pat can do impressions too?
I'm the guy from The Simpsons.
This guy is so fun to hang out with. Well, hopefully we'll talk to you a little bit later in this episode. It was great talking to you.
Thanks, bye.
Dude, film school Pat, man, seems like a real dick swinger, you know? So you in film school, you took Armenian music theory?
Mm-hmm. Armenian music, yeah.
Armenian music. Now, what did that entail? Because you told me, I think you told me this while we were hanging out in Boston. Like, what was your parents' reactions to taking that?
My mom was so mad because she wanted me to take Spanish. She's like, take something that you'll use. Take something that you'll learn. And I was in an Armenian music class. There were 7 people in the class.
All Armenian, right?
All Armenian except me.
Oh my goodness.
Armenian teacher.
Did they just love you in there? Did they just eat it up that there's this white boy from Indiana in their Armenian music class?
I did have a crush, Shushan. Shushan and I would hang out.
Shushan?
Yeah. And one time Shushan and I went to downtown for like art walk.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a guy chopping a piano in a giant brick of ice.
Really?
Yeah, he was like he had a chainsaw and he had axes. Wow. And when we just sort of stood there on the side of the street.
And what happened next?
And watched. I mean,
did the flame start to heat up?
Nothing happened. Nothing happened with Shushan.
I think we're getting a call right now. Hello, is this Shushan?
Is this Patrick Reagan?
Hey, Shushan.
Hey, Shushan.
Shushan, your voice sounds pretty deep.
Hey, Shushan.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you go.
There you are. So, how are you?
Buddy, so good.
You call me buddy?
Yes, buddy. You are like my favorite boy, buddy.
Man, Shushan, what happened? You remember when we went to the Smell and we saw that French performance artist and he had a toilet on stage and he literally like reenacted 9/11 with he had towers on stage?
It still haunts me to this day, buddy.
You were pretty game. I mean, you came out. You'd come to me with this weird stuff.
Yeah.
So I really appreciated that.
Remember when you went down on me, buddy? And I was like, I tapped your head, and I was like, you made me come, buddy. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. That was pretty sexy.
Yeah. Well, can we get back together?
Oh, we were never.
I would like to get back together with you.
Yes, we can get back together.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Shushan loved Pat Reagan. Shushan come for seconds. Shushan 1/3 of Pat Reagan.
Oh, well, I'm lucky. I guess I'm lucky guy.
I'm jealous of your relationship with Jeremiah. Because he always like, oh, that's my boy, Pat Reagan. And guess what? You are my boy.
You shut your mouth right now, Shushan. He is my boy, Patty Reagan.
No, he is my boy, Pat Reagan.
Shushan, you shut your filthy, whore mouth. I don't know what you think.
Whoa, Jeremiah.
You're coming out of the wood. What, Pat?
Jeremiah, don't call her a whore.
Oh, she's coming out of the woodwork saying all of a sudden she hasn't seen you in years, and she's saying that you're her boy, Patty Reagan. I want to fight Shushan.
Bring it. I will bring my uncles over, and they will beat you to a bloody pulp.
Shushan, how dare you threaten me with uncles?
They are all wearing tracksuits, and they will strangle you out, and you will never see the light of day, Jeremiah, and you will never wonder about anything again.
Shushan, Jeremiah, maybe I can mediate this.
Okay, what?
What?
Do you guys like System of a Down?
I hate it.
I love it.
Shushan, you hate System of a Down?
Yeah, it's a real deal breaker for me. Sorry, sometimes I sound Jamaican. Sometimes.
Man.
I don't like it. I guess I have to go if we don't agree on this music.
You know, Shushan took me.
I thought you like Armenian music. You do not if you like System of a Down.
I do like System of a Down. I do like Armenian music.
You know what? This cannot work. You know what, Jeremiah? He's all your boy. Goodbye.
Wow, did she just break up with you over System of a Down?
Wow.
Did we just get back together over System of a Down?
Disorder, disorder, disorder.
Confusion. Some bueno.
I went to Armenian church with Shushan.
Eyes of a tablecloth. Eating seeds is a pastime activity. The toxicity of our city, of our city. Disorder. Sacred silence of flame. Somewhere between the sacred silence of flame. Disorder, disorder, disorder.
I made the right decision.
That just fell out of his seat.
I just broke this chair.
Broke a chair. While he's eating pizza from the pizza party segment, he broke a chair, is chewing. He's doing everything that I don't want him to do, and it's so beautiful. Beautiful disaster. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Drinking
man.
Starbucks, chugging pizza, breaking chairs, whipping dicks, breaking hearts. That's my boy Patty Reagan right there.
Man, comedy club stuff is always about ready to break.
Yeah, it's comically ready to break at any moment. I've broken a lot of stools and a lot of mic stands. I've broken a stool here at the comedy stools here, mic stands here. I ripped the curtains once. That was a big deal. Whenever I ripped the curtains down.
Where?
In the OR. I took this chunk out from doing a
doing an
pratfall.
act out?
I did an act out, and it was.
What was the bit?
I have no idea. I used to do this bit called Bringing Stupid Back, where I would go insane on stage. Just making the most insane noises. I need to do that bit actually again soon.
Yeah, so
I really enjoyed it.
Do you want to go back there? Like we were talking about how me going back to those early crazy days.
What I would like to think is that I have a more controlled chaos now. It's a more dialed in. Like before, I would do stuff and I didn't know. It wasn't calculated. Do you know what I mean? I didn't know why certain things were getting reactions, and now I'd like to think that I have a better idea, at least, of why certain things are getting reactions and why I should be doing them, and the consequences if I'm doing a longer set of doing bits that are really out there is winning the audience back after that, like the larger audience, because there's always going to be people who stick with you that know your sensibilities throughout the entire set. But if you're playing a big crowd or a big room, you're gonna lose a lot of people with certain out there abstract bits, and that's the recovery is what's important after you do these crazy big act
one
outs.
way or another, you got to stick the landing.
Yeah.
At the end. Hey, so we speaking of broken stuff, we broke some stuff the past few shows. Broke a stool.
Oh yeah.
Pat in Frogtown.
Yeah, in Frogtown we were headlining this show called The Golden Hour. Shout out to the boys who run that.
MK Paulson, shout out.
Yeah, super fun show. We were headlining. Pat jumped off the stool and broke it, and it was pretty epic. And then we were in this basement show. Shout out to the Hideout in Boston. Dude, Pat went so punk rock during one of our songs. He jumped up, crushed his head into a light, and the glass cut his hand, and he started bleeding everywhere. And we finished the song while there's glass shattering, it's crunching on the floor. We're screaming at people in the audience. Pat's bleeding. We're sweating profusely. And it was nearly impossible to follow because that was in the middle of our set. It wasn't even our closing bit. But we it
was sweet.
Back to the body bag. We just kept hitting, and then it was super fun.
It's like my old hardcore days,
right?
Yeah, I was a hardcore kid, dude.
Were you?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I think we have a caller calling in. Hardcore Pat, is this you?
Yo, what's up, dude?
Hey, I was just talking to
First of all, I want to say I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't fuck.
Okay, Hardcore Pat.
I like Minor Threat, I like Gorilla Biscuits. I put X's on my hands, and I get in the pit. And I hardcore dance, I floor punch, and I'll fucking stage dive, too.
Hardcore Pat, do you love to mosh?
Yeah, I love it. We don't call it moshing, dude. It's called hardcore dancing. Moshing is for mainstreamers.
Wow, Hardcore Pat, it sounds like you're not wanting to be a part of the system at all.
Dude, I really don't want to be a part of any fucking system. All I want to do is take my repressed homosexuality and put it out on the floor and just leave nothing left.
Hardcore Pat, I feel like you really just divulged like a huge chunk of information and just kind of blew past it. Do you have homosexual tendencies?
Well, I went to an all-boy... My name's Hardcore Pat, and I go to an all-boys Catholic school, and I wear a Minor Threat hoodie, and I put Sharpie X's on my hands, and I have a lot of rage.
But where does it... Hardcore Pat, where does this rage come from? Because I've
Suburbs, dude.
Listen, though. I've met...
Suburbs.
Listen, Hardcore Pat. I know you don't like to listen.
S-U-B-U-R-B-S.
I'm familiar with how to spell suburbs. Okay, I've met both your parents, Joe and Vicky. They are wonderful, beautiful parents. Okay, they're super loving and encouraging. Where does this rage come from, Pat?
Dude, have you ever met one hardcore person? That's exactly the formula, dude. Happy mom, happy dad, happy life. Angry Pat, angry kid, fucking...
Really?
Yeah.
So you just have angst because you were surrounded with so much love that you're like, just give me a second! You're just like, you just didn't want to be touched. You didn't want to be caressed. You didn't want to be loved. You wanted to make a trail and a path of your own.
I wanted to go punch my pillows on my bed. I wanted to go. I had a Tybo punching bag in the backyard, and I would go put on all black, and like I'm wearing right now, still the same kid, and I would go out into the back and literally like scream and rage and punch at the bag. And in middle school one time, I remember like changing in the lockers. I just started punching the lockers as everyone was changing until my hands bled. So I just had a lot of energy, and I didn't know where to put it.
Okay, Hardcore Pat. I think we'll have to wrap up our. Okay, yeah. What else do you have? Other things that you want to tell me?
Well, my first hardcore show that I went to.
Okay, yeah.
Was at 924 Gilman. Shout out.
The only reason I was gonna cut you off was I'm getting a little bit scared. Continue, Hardcore Pat.
Birthplace of Operation Ivy. Birthplace of Green Day. Birthplace of AFI. And my first show, I got a bloody nose got like elbowed or something in the face and got a bloody nose. And then a girl gave me a tampon to stick up my nose. And
that's how hardcore you are?
That was how hardcore I was.
That you became tampon Hardcore Pat?
Yeah, dude. They're like, THP, tampon Hardcore Pat. They're like, who's that? They're like that fucking annoying kid.
You're like, you down with the THP? Yeah, you know me.
That annoying kid who came here by himself.
But did you continue the trend even after? Like, were you so hardcore that you just kept wearing the tampon after after the blood was dried?
Well, my most hardcore moment was I was on crutches in high school. At one
Why?
point.
Why?
I think I broke my ankle twice from jumping downstairs.
You're so hardcore that you just wanted to jump downstairs like flights of stairs?
A lot of energy, man.
I guess so. Were you diagnosed with ADHD?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. ADD, ADHD, the whole spiel.
ADHD, yeah. I had extra time to do my SATs. I did my SATs alone in a fucking upstairs like room.
What was your score?
Very high.
Okay, cool.
Off the charts.
Wow.
So I was in the pit. I had crutches, and I was swinging the crutches around on the dance floor, and then everyone cleared out. Everyone cleared out this hardcore show at the Danville Grange Hall, and then I got on stage, and I was like, why is no one dancing? Like, what are you all, a bunch of pussies? I was like, come out here and fucking dance. And then I went back out, and everyone danced.
You have a lot of darkness inside you, Hardcore Pat. And I'm here to help, okay?
Thank you.
If you ever need a hand, or if you need to talk to anybody, just know that your boy Jeremiah Watkins is here for you.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Hardcore Pat.
Goodbye.
Until next time.
stay hardcore.
Dude, that was life-changing talking to Hardcore Pat. You know what? I think that gives insight onto who the origin story of Pat Reagan and who he became. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
I want to do something really special right now. I mentioned on an earlier episode, Pat and I are going to debut one of our tracks off of our upcoming debut Reagan and Watkins album.
Heck yeah.
This track is titled My Name is Jeremiah. You may recognize the hook as the intro to this podcast. Without further ado, the world premiere of My Name is Jeremiah.
My name is Jeremiah, and I always spit that fire with my boy Pat Reagan. He's always to my right.
Yo.
The golden hair messiah, smelling fresher than papaya. Watch out, ladies, this chick is claimed. Lightning flashing in your ears, cracking open ginger beers. Non-alcoholic is the way I do things. Root beer flowing, it's time to get the showing. Hoes be like,
Is that Reagan and Watkins?
jerking up before the show, can never let these hoes know they think they might actually have a chance with me. They slide into my DMs, I say, can we just be friends? I'm married to a girl who's the love of my life. Balls full of cum and mouth full of dumb. Get ready for Reagan and Watkins, bitch. My name is Jeremiah, and I always spit the fire with my boy Patty Reagan. He's always to my right. The girls be clamoring, I never be stammering. My flow is on point, and so is my hair. My nose is on fleek every day of the week. It sometimes doubles as my second dick. I got sex appeal, I got lips of steel. I keeps it real, you'll never cop a feel. You say I can't play, you think it's all shtick, but every time I play, Kenny G is on my dick. My name is Jeremiah, and I always spit that fire with my boy Patty Reagan. He's always to my right.
Still here.
Get ready for one heck of a night.
Hope you guys enjoyed that.
Woo!
I'm very excited about this album. That's the one rap track that we have.
Sounds
on the
good.
album.
Yeah.
It sounds good. It's bumping. Our buddy Jeff Rocaza, I'll shout out his Instagram in the intro. Give him hit him up.
Yeah.
Good dude. Helped us with the beats.
A lot of the rest of the album's going to be full band live tracking.
Yeah.
Kind of Blink-182.
Yeah. Full band vibe. Pat and I have some acoustic stuff that we're doing together.
Oh yeah, we got some nice acoustic stuff.
Yeah. It's great. This brings us to our next segment, Fanning Out.
Questions from fans.
In this segment, I reached out to the Twitterverse and the Insta universe and asked people if they could ask Patty Reagan any question.
Oh,
what
goodness.
would it be? And I've got a list. We can go through them quickly. If you're not feeling certain ones, just make the answer short.
Okay.
Cool? This is from @bdanny on Instagram. Did you ever find the Churro Man?
Okay, no. Oh yeah, no. I wrote a song called Churro Man, and it was about looking for a churro man, and I never did. I saw him one time and wrote that song, and then never saw him again. It was at Hollywood and Western.
Wow. I love that song, by the way.
Thanks.
Maybe I'll play a little clip.
Yeah.
Love it. @Brandon_Maxwell on Instagram. Which is your favorite Reagan and Watkins bit to perform? I saw you guys come to Dallas and loved every minute of it. Do we have a favorite song or a bit that we do?
I don't know. I like singing Blue Balls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
Want to do it?
Hello. Hello. Hello.
There's
Hello. 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 Hello, Blue Balls, my old friend. I've come to jack with you again. Because my boner's softly creeping, getting horny without creaming, and the friction that was rubbing on my thigh makes me cry, and that's the sound of Blue Balls.
That's a fun one.
So I'd have to say Blue Balls.
Okay. @Zachary_Michael_Johnson on Instagram. What's your favorite thing about Jeremiah? Physically, emotionally, spiritually?
Oh my God.
From your boy Zach.
I love this question. I love Jeremiah's hair. I love Jeremiah's size. He's an imposing figure. I love Jeremiah's physicality. I love his beautiful voice. I love his eager, his up for anything, immediately jumping on board, supportive nature. I love his mind. I love that Jeremiah's like secretly pretty rebellious, and he's secretly like a badass. Like Jeremiah has so many, like we were filming this thing called Skate Dads, this video. Shout out to that. If you can, check out this video called Skate Dads.
It's one of my favorite things I've ever done, and it's so bizarre and out there.
And we were filming that, and Jeremiah, we were up on a dumpster. We were up standing on a dumpster in this parking lot. And there was like a smaller dumpster off of the big dumpster, like this big jump. There was like, probably a 10-foot jump off to this other dumpster. And Jeremiah, without hesitating, takes his skateboard and literally does like a Tony Hawk, like a board grab air jump through the dumpster, goes through the frickin' cover top, the rubber cover top, straight into the dumpster. And he's like, "I'm okay." And I was just like, what a fucking badass. So yeah.
Wow. Spiritually, anything?
Spiritually, well, I think I like Jeremiah's spirituality. A man of God.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, man.
What a question. At Murphman12 from Instagram, do you still have a relationship with Greg's dad?
I mean, that's one of those questions. That's the same with the Churro Man question. It's like, Greg's dad is not. Yes, I still have a relationship with Greg's dad because I play those songs. Yeah, but I don't know how to answer that question.
Perfect. At Joseph Wambold on Instagram, were you a self-taught musician or did you receive some training? Are you a multi-instrumentalist? You guys make my week bearable. Thank you.
Thanks. Probably like, yeah. I mean, I self-taught in guitar. I took piano lessons. I took drum lessons. I was in choir.
Same here. What vocal register were you?
You were high, right?
I was the only boy alto. I was literally the only boy alto. Everybody else was tenors and bass, and I was the only boy alto because I was the only one that with my falsetto that like it sounded like the girls.
Just this,
and
chubby...
some of the girls were just like they were like they were just like these monsters that were like just so many hormones that they were like in the bass range. And I'm like up here, and it's feeling real nice. Yeah, just this chubby, bowl-cutted, cherubic, soccer-playing angel,
angelic voice.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What were you? A tenor, maybe?
No, I think I was baritone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you can sing like real low.
I can get down there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's just a taste.
Okay. At Wokius_Maximus on Twitter. This is a cool question. Would you say adding overly emotional songs like Cancer and Remission to your albums is a conscious effort at emotional complexity to the overall feel? Is it an unconscious effort and felt right? It's an amazing track, genuinely curious from an artist's perspective.
Not at all. I wrote that song when I was in high school. Or maybe college. I wrote that song when I was like 18, 19. I just write songs, whatever comes out. And at basically in the since Reagan and Watkins got started, I've just when it comes to my own song, because me and Jeremiah have the comedy thing. I mean, that's what we do is write comedy song. So in my own personal songs, I'm not even really trying to write comedic songs or be funny. I'm just like whatever comes out. And so there's anything's valid to me if it comes out and I like it. It sounds good, so
yeah, you're not going to put a filter on the genre or the product as long as it's organically coming out of you.
Yeah,
that's cool. At Matthias Flopez on Twitter, can you give a synopsis of the scripts you wrote in college?
Oh yeah. My first script was called "Kind of Like the Time I Overthrew That Dictator," and it's just like a Woody Allen Bananas style script about this kid Milo who goes to a fictional country called like Kulobia, and they play like a ball. There's like a game. There's like a dictator he stays with. Basically, he's studying abroad, and he stays with this dictator. And the dictator like puts on a really friendly front, but the dictator's secretly a monster. The dictator, like, behind closed doors, he's like running like, sweatshops and stuff. And they play this game called pelota ball, which is like this super like nonsensical like basketball style handball game that's very like Latin and passionate. And that was it was a bunch of cheesy jokes from like Marx Brothers, Woody Allen style gag jokes, like or Mel Brooks, and then I wrote a script called Benedict, which is Will Ferrell as Benedict Arnold running around in a wig, acting indignant and betraying America. So it was a lot of Will Ferrell yelling. And John C. Reilly was envisioned as George Washington, and they had a very intense, passionate relationship with some homoerotic undertones.
Sounds like you and I just need to play those parts now.
Yeah,
yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Me as George Washington.
Yeah, and then I wrote a Dexter spec script, where Dexter kills a retarded guy. And there was like a moral dilemma for him. He's like, does this man know that he's committed wrong? Because Dexter kills killers, so this retarded guy was like killing people, and it was based off. We grew up, our family had like a Big Brother style retarded guy in our family named Jerry. Shout out to Jerry. So I was always fascinated with retarded guys.
I just realized I got pizza grease all over my jeans. Hopefully that comes out. We'll see. Nice. Nice use of the word retarded. At Captain C Shark on Twitter, when do you remember starting to listen to and appreciate comedy? How old? Do you have context for that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, probably high school. I don't know about. I don't know when I started appreciating it. I became a fan.
Right.
I would watch Turner Classic Movies, and I would watch I felt myself drawn to comedy. I would just early Woody Allen movies, Buster Keaton, Marx Brothers. I loved Groucho Marx. I loved Mel Brooks, and so it wasn't so much stand. It wasn't so much stand up. My dad was a big fan of Monty Python, so I would watch Monty Python all the time. I loved Dumb and Dumber, probably my favorite comedy.
Same here, dude. Dumb and Dumber and Tommy Boy
So
are my top two.
good.
Yeah, next level.
And that I don't know. Then in college I got into stand up because I was going to UCB all the time in college. Upright Citizens Brigade.
Who are the people performing there whenever you were?
Unbelievable. It was like Rob Hubel, Paul Scheer, Aziz Ansari. I'd see Donald Glover do improv. I'd see I don't know, all the original UCB gang, Matt Besser and Ian Roberts and Matt Walsh, Andy Daly, who I think is a genius. Andy.
Did Donald Glover ever do anything musically that you saw there, or like did that come out of like nowhere?
No, he was doing that as a bedroom project. I remember when at that time, but yeah.
I think we have Childish Gambino on the line right now. Hello?
My peanut butter chocolate cake Kool-Aid.
Did you have anything to say, or did you just want to sing Stay Woke?
So stay woke, baby creeping. We gon' find you, 'cause
I mean, I think it's a little bit inappropriate to just call into Jeremiah Wonders and start singing your own song. It's kind of like a shameless self-plug.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else to say, Childish Gambino?
Stay woke.
All right. Okay. That's enough of that.
All right. Childish Gambino, everybody.
All right. Final question. And then I have a follow-up. At Sarah Kai _June on Instagram, how did you start on Kill Tony? How'd that come about?
Tony saw me on Roast Battle. Sometimes I regret ever setting foot in the Comedy Store.
Whoa. How come?
You think you would have had a very different path?
I think my life was heading. Yeah, I'm not sure where I would ended up, but I would ended up somewhere. Would ended up doing something.
But who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
If you wouldn't have, if Reagan and Watkins would have ever become a duo.
Yeah, that's the. Thank God for that.
So we're banking a lot on this album. So yeah, Tony just saw you during roast battle. He's like, I want you on the show.
Tony saw me during roast battle. He's like, come. He's like, come do whatever you want on the show. Come open the show up. Come play. I was playing songs. He would start the podcast.
You're just like the pre-show.
No, he would start the podcast and then be like, I know I got something kind of fun. He's like, I got this wacky guy. I'm like, who is this person? What the fuck is this show? I literally walked in thinking I was like in an insane asylum. I was like, what the fuck is going on? These, like, whatever.
I think, oh man, dude, Tony is actually calling in right now.
Oh, hello, Jeremiah.
Oh, hey, Tony. Did you hear Pat talking about you and you had to defend yourself?
Fuck yeah, okie dokie.
Is it true that you called Pat a wacky guy during his intros and that's how he got involved in Kill Tony?
Yes, that's true. I also want to say that you can see this Asian comic at the Ice House, but when he goes there, it's called the Rice House. Okie dokie.
All right, we just lost Tony. I don't know if he has bad cell phone reception or what's going on. But do you have a favorite Kill Tony moment? A lot of people are asking that. Like with the band or characters that we've done.
Yeah, when it ends. The end of every episode.
The end of every episode.
No, I have some favorite Kill Tony moments. There have been some great ones. I loved in when we were in Houston, Houston, when you were putting coins in that guy's belly.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, that was in Houston.
And I loved that you asked for hand sanitizer.
Oh, it was disgusting. But do you have a favorite personal character that you've done, like that we've done over the years?
I have a favorite personal character of mine that I did, which was these film noir guys.
Oh, okay.
I had like a cigarette and I was wearing like a hat because I love film noir. I love like those like Humphrey Bogart.
Oh, we need to bring those guys back.
Sometime, you know?
Yeah. See.
Yeah. She had a mug like an old parking ticket, and the valet looked at me with a look that could cut steel.
She had a caboose smoother than an oyster, and breath that could go for days.
She walked the walk, and she talked the
talk. Dude looked like a lady. Film noir with the Aerosmith. Never judge a book by its cover.
What else? I mean, the Kill Tony. We've had a lot of crazy moments.
So many weird, crazy moments on that show.
I love you doing Tam Fam. I loved when you threw up.
Oh man, that was like, to me, that's like the closest that like the Jackass world and the Kill Tony world has like fused together. Rick Cossack like purposely like shaking up my stomach, like
shit.
Like he like patted my stomach up and like hit me to like help like the throw up come up because he's been around all those guys so much. He's such a pro.
Guy's a pro.
Yeah, and he was the one who suggested to me that because I was just gonna eat a ton during the entire episode. He goes, "You got to throw up." I'm like, what? He goes, you have to eat so much that you throw up. He goes, that's the bit. He goes, it's funny. It's one thing to be funny to eat that much as the visual gag of you coming out. He goes, but you got to throw up. That'll take it to the next level. I was like, I trust you 100%, Rick Cossack. I will.
What else? Oh, there was one moment that I loved. Doug Stanhope came on. And he just was in the back of the room, and then he just came on stage, and they just riffed for a few minutes. But that was a highlight for me. Mm-hmm. Having Jim Norton on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been some really cool guests over the years. Somebody asked us, I forget, but did we have a guest that hated us the most?
Oh my God, so many. I've had so many guests hate me.
But like
in my head.
Yeah, but like actually we know that they hated us because sometimes we know that the band is sometimes polarizing. We do different characters every week. And what's funny is some of the comics who go up, like they get mad at the characters. They don't realize we're doing characters, which is always hilarious to me.
Yeah. They just I don't know. Don't want to play ball. but it might be like maybe we don't want to play ball either. It's kind of like this impasse.
Right.
But okay, Bill Burr was on, and
I wasn't there for that episode.
and so I brought my friend Adam as a guest, and Adam's
Adam Allgood,
Adam
very
Allgood.
funny comedian, writing partner of Pat's as
kind
well.
of a wonder kind, guy's kind of like a mad scientist, but he's pretty quiet, he's pretty low key, he's kind of like an alien, and so he came on the Bill Burr show, which was a big show, for Kill Tony. Big show.
Bill Burr on the show.
And so I bring on Adam, who's never done it before, or maybe done it once, as my blind lawyer. So he comes up with like a stick, and he's holding a PBR. He's holding a tall boy a PBR, and Tony's like, "I didn't know you're a lawyer." He goes, "Wow, you must be a really official lawyer, having a tall boy a PBR." And Bill Burr. Every time Adam talked, Bill Burr would like smile. I think Bill Burr got it. Like he would just look over and he'd be like,
what is happening?
I think he enjoyed Adam's comedic spirit, but we just bombed that whole episode.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. I think I got a phone call after that episode. Also, whenever you brought Jay Weingarten in my spot, on the show, I got phone calls like, "Did you know about this? Who are these guys that Pat brought on?" I
They're
was like,
funny guys.
I was like, they're funny. Yeah, they're funny dudes.
Yeah, they're funny dudes.
Everybody was asking about this. What was your experience like on the Eric Andre show?
Best job I ever had.
Yeah?
Yeah, I worked on it from the pilot. I remember through the 4 seasons, and I was there like, I don't know, it was cool watching that show, evolve, and watching just watching it all go down,
and being just around all those creative people.
Being around Eric and then his head writer Dan Curry, DC, one of the funniest people I've ever met, and I mean, that was a fun job.
What's the story behind the naked PA?
So basically,
Pat was naked on Eric Andre's show.
Basically, they would I think Eric and the director just found, I don't know how it started. They had on one of the index cards naked Pat was set one of the index cards, and then I guess that cracked them up. So in interviews, when they started doing interviews, they'd be like, Pat, can you take off all your clothes and head out there and take the guest lunch order?
What?
So that was my original
Would
bit.
you do that?
Yeah. So I guess it made them laugh for me to go out naked, completely naked, but still have a headset, still have a walkie-talkie and a headset and a clipboard, and say, "Hey, can I get your lunch order? Excuse me."
Yeah, because it's hilarious. It's so funny.
Yeah, man, and oh man, there's one moment on the show where I dip my balls in hot sauce, in this guy's pasta sauce. I did my balls in this guy who came on, Steve Sharipa. He's like this big Sopranos guy, and he was it didn't feel like he was very in on the joke. He was kind of like, who are these fucking guys? Like, what the fuck is going on here? And so they sent me out with his hot sauce, which he was genuinely there to promote. And I dipped my dick and balls in it and did like a promo. I was like Uncle Steve's hot sauce, or it's just pasta sauce. Pasta's so good you can dip your balls in it. And then dip my balls in it.
Did that make that on the show?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And he's like, "I don't like what you're doing to my sauce."
Dude, I gotta find clips. Is there any clips of this online?
Probably, I don't know.
We gotta find them and repost them. That's so funny, dude.
Oh man! And then I gotta one bit that I got on, which Mac DeMarco is one of my favorite musicians, and he was coming on the show, so I got to write a bit where I got tied to a post, and then wheeled back while he played music, and was tied to a chair, and he ate my ass. And he was into it. He was like, "Yeah, man, I'm down for whatever," You
just thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, he thought it was hilarious. They were happy to be doing comedy. But man, I mean, the people that have come through it's kind of crazy because Because like I've gotten to be a part of things like early on, like when they're starting. Sometimes see stuff grow and blow up a little bit, and you don't know. And like I remember when Chance the Rapper came on, I never heard of him. Like so many people then went on after that to success, but it was fun, man. We basically just like hang out. Eric would like rehearse. We'd do a lot of rehearsing. Me and Eric and Dan, the head writer, would just hang out in a room, and we'd plan out the man on the street bits. Like Eric dressed as an octopus with 8 little people with 8 little people like attached to him, like going into a restaurant. Like,
Do you respect the hive mind? Table for 1 or 8. He's like, I'm just moved here from Miami.
Like, and we just riff, and I was like a note taker, you know. I'd take notes. I'd take notes on my computer, and I was really an unessential part of the job.
You're funny and you're cool to be around. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's part of that's part of the biz, just being around and like being a contributor. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And being like a cool dude.
Yeah.
And they're like, Pat, what do you think, dude?
So I lucked out.
What's your Eric Andre sound like?
Mine sounds like this, dude.
My Eric Andre, you ever bukkake a gangbang?
Oh, Eric, I didn't realize he was calling in. Eric Andre is now on the show, guys.
Hey, ranch me, bro, Tendo. What's up? You guys like finger flipping a deuce on with Coachella?
And we lost him already. I guess he only wanted to ask that question on the show.
He ran away.
He ran away from the phone line. That's crazy.
Eric, man, it was so funny. I would just think like every episode when we were doing interviews, like the interviews would go for so long. Like he'd interview Flavor Flav, and he'd get naked like 10, 15 minutes into the interview, and there's still 45 minutes to go. So he's just hanging out naked with Flavor Flav.
And Flavor Flav is not caring?
Flavor Flav he didn't give a fuck, dude. he was going with whatever.
Was that one of the best guests on the show?
There were a lot of great guests. I loved a lot of them, man. I love Joey Fatone from NSYNC.
I did the Impractical Jokers cruise with him, and he could not be any nicer.
He's a cool guy.
He's so nice.
Yeah, man. I loved a lot of. Oh fuck. I loved. That's it. Just Joey Fatone.
Just Joey Fatone and Flava Flav. Perfect. This brings us to our final segment. Sax Talk. Oh, Sax Talk. All right, in this segment, I'm going to play some sweet, sweet saxophone underneath a sexual story that you tell. So tell any encounter that you had that was weird, or any sexy time that was bizarre, or whatever my boy Patty Reagan wants, my boy Patty Reagan gets. And go whenever you're ready, and I'll follow you.
The year was 2006, and I was at USC, and it was like our fall. It was like our fall, like kind of, what is it called? Like initiation, like fall, whatever it's called. We were
enrollment.
Yeah, after enrollment, we were starting the school year, and there was a dance. There was a dance happening downstairs at like the dorm at the dorm common area. Burn Krant, shout out, and we were dancing. At that point, I was a virgin. Not only was I a virgin, I'd never had my dick touched or anything. Furthest I'd ever gone was, I guess, a sweet makeout. And so I'm dancing, and I don't drink at that point. I wasn't drinking, and anyway, I start dancing with these 2 Asian girls, and they don't go to the school, but they were pretty. They were like, they were pretty drunk. I mean, it's 18. Everyone's 18 and like just fucking just starting school, like away from home. And so I think people were pretty drunk, except for me. I was stone sober, and anyways, I don't know what happened, but we were like making out on the dance floor, and these two girls were all over me, and I was like kind of freaking out internally. I didn't know what to do or how to handle it, and so we go up to my room, and they both get in bed with me. And my roommate Jack. He's a violist, and he's now an internationally renowned violist. I think he's like playing with some group in France, or he's always playing all around the world. He was written up in the L.A. Times, and he was on NPR playing violin when he was like 15. Kid's a fucking kid's something else. Jack Lord. And so he's laying in the bed, and then I'm in my bed, and these two girls are like all over me, and I don't know what to do, and they like reach their hands down my pants, and then they're like, do you have a condom? And I don't even know if I was even capable of answering the question at that time. I was so terrified, and anyways, basically nothing happens, and then one of the girls, the more attractive girl, gets up and walks over and gets in bed with Jack, and so I'm left with the big girl, and we just innocently just kind of like fondle each other. Is everybody out there pretty all nice and aroused at this point? And that was my almost threesome sexual encounter. First time I ever got my dick touched. R.I.P.
So you almost had a threesome before your penis was even touched ever.
Mm-hmm.
My boy Patty Reagan goes hard in the paint.
Oh, my boy Patty Reagan right there. What was that like? You almost thinking you're going to get a threesome. Is that how you were going to lose your virginity?
Yeah, that would have been crazy.
I think it would have messed you up even more sexually.
Oh, boy.
Not to say that you're messed up sexually. Not to say that.
Try on the bass. Something's wrong with you.
Something's wrong. Everything is in perfect order.
Cool.
Everything's great.
You're good.
Yeah, I mean, you're cool, man. Well, dude, I love you. I love having you on this show.
I love you too.
I hope you come back, buddy. I hope you do some future episodes. I really enjoyed talking to Film School Pat and Hardcore Pat. I think we had some good calls today on the program. Do you have anything that you want to plug, buddy?
Yeah, I guess Skate Dads. Watch Skate Dads.
And I think we're going to do a sequel to that coming out soon.
Yeah, we should have another video in the pipeline.
Yeah.
And I made this film, Dag and Badam, about two aliens studying abroad on Earth. It's a short film that I made with Adam Allgood, who we were talking about, and so that's gonna come out. Just go online. Just if you want, you got some time to kill. Just go online and you can root around and find some shit that I've put up, videos or music, or I wrote this South Park spec script about Trump's border wall. That's online. So if you just want to root around, you can probably find something.
Check out at Patty Reagan on Twitter and at Greg's Dad 99 on Instagram. Yeah, and we'll be releasing more details soon about the Reagan Watkins album coming out. It'll probably be coming out around summertime because we're recording in April. So hopefully,
can't wait. We got rehearsal tonight.
Yeah, tonight.
Band rehearsal.
Full band rehearsal tonight. We've been working really hard on that and getting everything in order for that. So it's going to be, we want it to be as epic as possible. So we're hoping you guys will buy the album once it comes out.
Yeah, thank you, Jeremiah.
Dude, thank you. My boy Patty Reagan finally coming on Jeremiah Wonders. Love you, dude.
Love you too.